Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Couples HQ Daily Podcast. The episode today is about flaws, faults, and deficiencies. Why would I go there? One would think. Now, I'm going to try and keep this to 5 minutes, but it's a little bit more to talk about. Might just be a tad over, closer to 7. I'm just letting you know in advance in case you're squeezing it in between something else you're doing. Now, flaws. What is a flaw? Well, with couples, we can look at flaws in furniture, in floor coverings, in paintwork. We can look at flaws in lots of different places. But what goes on with couples is that they see the other person with flaws, and that's where criticism comes from or intolerance comes from, because they see flaws. Now, flaws are usually in behavioural styles. Flaws are to do with tidiness, untidiness. Flaws are to do with timeliness, always being late, not being considerate about where people are coming to join you, not getting there on time. In general, not considering others is what is often a flaw that the other person in a relationship or a marriage hones in on, doesn't like. It'll be behaviours that they don't like. The whole point is, are they that bad? Is it really a flaw? And it starts off with things like you need to, you must, you always. Flaws are usually talked about by you always. So if you're doing that quite a bit to your partner, spouse, have a think. Sit back and have a think. Is that helpful? What is the point of it? Because it's running the other person down, isn't it? It's a full-on disapproval, criticism. Now, right in the beginning, in the early romantic libido days, neither of you noticed these things. Flaws, faults, deficiencies turn up the longer you live with somebody, and you decide to accept, tolerate it, go with it, stay in goodwill, or you don't. And most couples don't, hence so much tension. So flaws. According to whom are they flaws? Now, today, with the therapy world being so full of people saying ADHD is there as a condition to be treated. It's tested sometimes generously and gives an accurate idea. But from my experience, it's often just tested with a questionnaire to answer. And on the day, depending on how one feels, it could be diagnosed ADHD or not, and then medicated or not. It's become, in my view, and there'll be others who don't agree with me, and I'm fine to put out ideas that people don't agree with me on, but it becomes, if you like, a flaw. If you have ADHD, it's a condition. And it then, if it's not ADHD, it can be something else. It can be compulsive neatness or compulsive messiness, untidiness, all seen as flaws that get picked on, and the other partner is torn apart by it, the person that's seen to have the flaws. What is the point of that? That's what I want to know. Do you know, if you're doing it, the picking on it, are you doing it to get that person to modify and not behave like it? Even after you might have had 2 years, 3 years of accepting different personality styles, you adapted for a while, now you won't. You know, one of the things I hear a lot is sarcasm as a flaw. Someone who continually makes sarcastic swipes at the expense of their spouse, their partner. Now, that sarcasm eats away at personal dignity. It's disrespectful. It's everything on the list, isn't it, of behaviours you don't do. And yet, there'll be a husband or a wife who continually does it. So, yes, in that case, I put the sarcasm under the flaws, or under even faults, not deficiencies, but flaws and faults, that component. I do put it under that. But not everything. However, sarcasm, one that stands out. It's absolutely awful to live with it. No one's going to be happy with their person that keeps on swiping away at them with sarcastic comments. It's never making anyone feel good. No, other than the person dishing them out. So there, that comes, we're moving into faults there, or flaws maybe, and faults combined. So if we move across to faults, what other faults are there? Well, there can be faults that are like leaving, and they're nearly all domestic logistics related. All these sorts of faults are things like empty the bottle of shampoo but leave it in the shower, or leave it on the floor, chuck it on the floor for some magical angel to come pick up. Or in some instances, hair and makeup all around the hand basin on the bathroom countertop, not wiped out before you leave. Someone else has to come in and do it, another angel. Or you face it again next day or that night. They are definitely flaws, those sorts of behaviours that do not consider someone else's experience. If they don't take the other person into consideration, that is a fault, okay? That is definitely the person that needs to shift their behaviour. It could be both of you doing it. But where there's a fault like that, a fault like the dishes aren't put away after the dishwasher's empty. Some people just empty them out onto the countertop and not put them straight away, and it's a big point of tension. Why are those sorts of faults there between a couple? It's interesting, isn't it? People want to say, oh, when I grew up, blah, blah. It was my experience when I grew up. We didn't put them away. Well, you were kids then and you probably had a mum and dad who did, or somebody. Or lots of reasons why we justify a fault like that when it's so easy to shift it, to make the other partner happy, to keep peace, keep harmony, keep goodwill. Why don't we shift it? Next one, deficiencies. What's a deficiency? Well, flaws, faults, deficiencies are all very similar, aren't they? But a deficiency is something where someone doesn't quite come up to scratch. They kind of almost get there, but they don't get there the whole way. You know, it can easily be called a fault or a flaw. It could be something as simple as not putting the milk away in the refrigerator after pouring a coffee or making cereal. Is that a deficiency, a flaw, or a fault? Could be all three. It's just left out there, ignored. Some magic fairies are coming through again, or the angel. No, it doesn't have to always just be one of the genders. It can be both, do it. And they can be doing all sorts of things that are highly annoying and disruptive to the relationship, all for the sake of some consideration and thought of the impact it's having on the other partner, the other spouse. Yeah, it's not rocket science. Why keep doing something that's so irritating and annoying to the other person? That then comes under deficiencies, under flaws, under faults, but it mainly comes under a flaw, a fault, a deficiency of consideration of the other person and their quality of life, and what keeps harmony and peace and keeps you connected. Because it's fully disconnecting behaviour, all those three. Why do it? So I'm going to leave this one today with whoever's listening to this asking yourself, how do you fit into that? Or are you listening to this thinking, yes, she. Yes, she's got the deficiencies. She's got all that. Or he has. Yes, he's got faults and flaws and, oh, it drives me crazy. And then listen to the next episode. The next episode I'm taking on conversation styles to eliminate this, to address it, shift it, eliminate it, and allow closeness to develop and thrive. So Dee Tozer, Here, the Couples Master Coach from Couples HQ, signing off.